Massachusetts voters are notoriously independent and they suffer political gridlock very poorly. Each of you has been painted as quite partisan, towing the party line on most issues. Can you tell us where you see common ground and how you'll work with colleagues across the aisle to get things done in Washington?
Thank you very much. You know, I like to believe that my campaign, I always tell people, is a dress rehearsal for the type of legislator you'll be. And I think if anyone who's watched my campaigns, both in 2010 and 2012, can certainly say that I've reached out to groups of people that Republicans don't typically reach out to. I have been endorsed by unions. I have been endorsed by community groups. I spend a lot of time in towns where most Republicans will say to me, why are you going to these towns? There are no Republican votes there. And my answer to them is very simple. I'm going there because there's never going to be Republicans there if they don't see one. So I spend an awful lot of time doing this. And as I said earlier, look, I recognize that there's a lot of partisanship. I recognize that things aren't getting done. I think that people see from my campaign that I reach out to groups. I try to get things done. I'm not going down to Washington, D.C. to get nothing done. I can tell you this, I'm not going to vote 95% of my party, 95% of the time with the leadership of my party. If I wanted Representative Pelosi to be my representative, I'd move to California. So honestly, I think we can do better. I think I will certainly look at any idea that comes across my desk when I'm down there, whether it's from a Republican, a Democrat, or an independent. But we need to get working again.
Congresswoman Tsongas.
Well, I know that in every instance, I think one of the fundamental responsibilities we all have is to think through every vote and to take the vote that we think is in the best interest of our constituents and of our country. And I have done that in every instance. But despite the gridlock that you referenced, I've had a lot of success working across the aisle. Working on the House Armed Services Committee, I learned about the great challenge of sexual assault in the military. And working with Congressman Mike Turner, a Republican from Ohio, we crafted a bill, Defense Strong, that works to change the culture of the military and make it easier for victims to get the redress and justice that they need. I learned about body armor, the challenge of heavy body armor. It does a good job protecting, but it's also harmful because it's so heavy. And again, working with Republican colleagues, now this year the President has tripled the funding for research and development. I learned about the small business companies that we have throughout this district that I've talked about. Highly innovative, many of them in the Defense Department, but clean energy companies, biopharmaceutical companies, all benefit from this research and development program within the federal government. Working on a bipartisan basis, we got this bill reauthorized last year so that it will be in place for the next 6 years. And just recently, the Natural Resources Committee voted out, it came to the floor of the House, a modest piece of legislation, but one that's really important to the city of Lowell. It allows for a land transfer between the park and the city so that a major economic development project can move forward. I think I have a demonstrated record of working on a bipartisan basis.
Mr. Golnik.
Thank you very much. Representative Tsongas, I do applaud your work with sexual assault in the military and body armor. I think that's a good thing. But I will say this. Your voting record is from the Washington Post, no less, which isn't necessarily Republican friendly, states that you vote 95% of the time with the leadership of your party. And I think that stands by itself.
Well, the one issue where I did not vote with the leadership, among many others, is on the medical device tax, because Speaker Pelosi was not in favor of repealing the medical device tax.
And that you voted for that before you voted against it, and it was a bill that was going nowhere in Marcus.
Come on, take it.